of racing. I've enjoyed it. Surprised a little bit by the parity of the front runners in the mountains. We've got a group there that there's not a great deal between them. It's more a case of who's more fatigued on a given day than it is about actual ability. So that's been really surprising. I think the Schleck brothers have started to do what we expected them to do, but the impact hasn't been great. I think Evans is looking in a great position, and the big surprise, the lovely story we're all looking at is Thomas Vockler, who's got himself in a great position. And he wasn't just staying with them in the Pyrenees, he was actually giving as good as he got. His challenge now is people are going to push him to chase and expect him to chase and start looking at him rather than following themselves, so he's going to be treated like a proper contender.
So it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, you look at, people assume that he'd have the yellow jersey, lose it on Les Ardennes, if not the next day on Plateau de Belle, or 2 days later on Plateau de Belle, but he's still there. Can he hang on?
I think if he can get through these 2 mountains days, and he's got a very good shot at that, then his time trialling, I mean, I think in the Dauphiné he was just around 2 minutes behind Evans, well, he's got slightly more than that now on the best time trialist of that group. So he's in a really good place, and that time trial is a good comparison, because he was on the same course. So I'd give him about a 30% chance of a win, yeah.
And Contador, a lot comes down to him, doesn't it? Because he has to make up a lot of time, but if he is powerful, or he does regain his strength, then he could play the race apart and end Wagner's reign in yellow.
Well, Contador suffers from carrying this reputation of what he's done before, whether he's got good health or not. He's the only person, I believe, in the top 35 that broke the Giro this year, and I think that's a huge thing, because it's a lot to do 2 major tours now. Everybody's going to keep looking at him, but he's only really got 2 stages, because he needs summit finishes, not just mountain races. He's only really got 2 days, I think, that he can do something with. So I think the odds are stacked against him. His podium place is more likely, I think, for him this year at best.
So reputation counts for nothing in the Tour?
I think reputation is there for a reason. The guy is a fighter, and he had a horrendous first week, and he's still here, and he's still in the last group on the mountains, but I think the legs are what it's all about. And at the moment he's in the group, not leading it, but with a deficit that the others haven't got. You
mentioned Evans. Is he now in the driving seat?
I think Evans is quietly in the best position of the whole group. He's the strongest time trialist. He's not quite the strongest climber. You can see he's letting those jumps go and then clawing his way back up to it, but he is doing that. It's hard to say when he's going to crack. I think he'll lose a few seconds, but his time trialling ability still puts him down as favourite right now.
Tactically, it plays a huge part. Who's been the smartest, and who's made perhaps the biggest mistake so far?
The smartest, I think, thus far has been Evans. He's been up there on all of the early weeks. He's stayed out of trouble probably better than anybody else. Biggest mistake, probably Tommy Vockler, actually, just through sheer lack of experience of being in this position, by showing how strong he was yesterday by chasing back rather than just following, and people are now going to take him seriously because of what they saw yesterday.